Good morning to each and every one, to our research teacher, Dr. Faye Ocho Torrena, to Dean Alan Galvez, and to Mom Daisy Adela Cruz. I am Kathleen Russell, the leader of this research, together with my members Sampiano, Vincent, Santos, Joel, Serrano, Georgette May, Silligan, Starla Faye, Talhermid, Shondale Moises, Tamesis, Murdith, Taruk, Veronica, Timog, Rialan, Toralba, Dorcas, Valencia, Reginald, Villarreal, Abigail. To present to you our study, The Effectiveness of Mixed Online Learning, in the Academic Performance of Accountancy Students in Law Courses. The development of the accountancy profession becomes more innovative as the world economy rapidly grows. However, as the 2019 coronavirus disease, COVID-19, surprised the world, humanitarian lives suddenly became stagnant and even froze from their normal track. Major sectors of the economy have been affected by the pandemic, one of which is the education sector. In response, the Commission on Higher Education has released a memorandum order on the guidelines and implementation of flexible learning. José Rizal University, JRU, has been at the forefront of implementing online blended courses through the use of Canvas, a learning management system that is used to enhance technology-enabled education programs in the university. It is therefore of the essence to discuss the relationship as to what aspect the online learning approach has affected the overall performance, in terms of final grades of the first semester 2020 to 2021, of accounting students who are taking business law courses as one of the requirements for the accountancy program in the university. This study aims to determine the effectiveness of mixed online learning in improving the performance of the JRU accountancy students while taking their professional elective 2. This will specifically seek to answer the following research questions. Number 1. What are the benefits and drawbacks encountered by JRU accountancy students in terms of taking the professional elective 2 course under mixed online learning? Number 2. What are the factors that affect the academic performance of JRU accountancy students while taking their professional elective 2 course under the current educational setup? Number 3. How effective is the mixed online learning approach used in the professional elective 2 course? And lastly, number 4, does mixed online learning significantly affect the performance of the JRU accountancy students in the course, Professional Elective 2? This study was conducted to determine the effectiveness of digital mixed online learning on the academic performance of the students in law courses. Accordingly, this study will benefit of the following: Accountancy Department. The result of the study can help the department to assess the effects of digital learning on students and provide possible amendments to the curriculum to enhance the performance of accountancy students. José Rizal University. The result will be beneficial for the institution during and after the pandemic, for them to use digital mixed online learning as a contingency plan to offer students an alternative way of learning. Law professors. This study can help the professors to know how students are adapting and functioning during the transition of a new learning method. Accountancy students. By the help of this study, current and future accountancy students can prepare themselves for the factors that can affect their performance during online classes. Future researchers. For those who would want to further expand the scope and findings of the topic, this study can be used as a reference to have a more complex result. The study focuses on the effectiveness of digital mixed online learning on students who took Bachelor of Science in Accountancy, BSA, during the academic year 2020 to 2021 at José Rizal University, JRU. The subjects of the study are particular to those 70 BSA students who took their professional elective 2 during the first semester of the academic year 2020 to 2021, with no specific gender nor age to acquire empirical evidence and data that will thoroughly help in the success of the study. However, the students are narrowed to those who took their professional elective 2 course for the first time, to reduce the factor that may affect the student's performance. Thus, the law courses: 1. The Law on Obligations and Contracts, 2. Business Laws and Regulations, and 3. Regulatory Framework and Legal Issues in Business of the 2018 JRU Accountancy Curriculum, are not covered in this study. The significant effect between the two variables, effectiveness of mixed online learning and students' performances, was statistically measured using the linear regression. From the computed p-value, a p-value was determined to have a value of 0.0018, which indicates that there is strong evidence to reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, it can be inferred that students' performances are largely affected by the effectiveness of mixed online learning, in both synchronous and asynchronous. The variables have been tested through Pearson correlation, as statistical measures to determine the strength of its relationship. The researchers have arrived with R-value of -0.37, which indicates that there is a negative correlation between the two variables. Therefore, an inverse relationship exists between the students' grades and the effectiveness of mixed online learning, which means that the more they will be exposed to mixed online education, the lower will be their academic performance. This research applied the use of quantitative, causal research techniques. Causal research was conducted in order to identify the extent and the nature of cause and effect relationships between the variables indicated in the study. The independent variable was the learning modality used by the students, while the dependent variable was the academic performance of accounting students in Bachelor of Science in Accountancy, who took their professional elective 2 for the first time during their first semester of academic year 2020 to 2021. The researchers found teaching methodology of professors, time management and cognitive ability of students as moderating variables that further affected the primary variables in the study. To determine the minimum sample size, the researchers used the Sloven's formula. In determining the participants for this study, the researchers used purposive sampling technique. It is a sampling method called judgment sampling wherein researchers use their knowledge to pick a sample that will be the most beneficial to the functions of the research. The researchers selected the students who have already taken the subject professional elective 2 during their third year, first semester academic year 2020 to 2021. The selection of respondents was limited into those who took the course, with one specific professor that the respondents had given. The researchers used close-ended questions in order for the respondents to answer the survey easily. The survey consisted of 2 parts. The first part is about the demographic profile of the respondents, and the second part is the survey questions. The demographic profile included their age, gender, and their final grade in professional elective 2. The survey questions consisted of 1. Benefits and drawbacks experienced during online class, 2. Factors that affected the performance of students, 3. Effectiveness of online learning, and 4. The extent of how learning affects the academic performance of students. For the researchers to thoroughly view the respondents' personal perceptions, the researchers used Likert scale in measuring the behaviors and performances of the students in online learning. The data was gathered within a span of 2 weeks, after obtaining the approval to administer the research instrument to the chosen respondents. The researchers administered the questionnaires to the accountancy students of Jose Rizal University, who took their professional elective 2 course during the academic year 2020 to 2021, by providing each respondent with the link of the Google Forms to online messaging platforms such as Facebook Messenger and email. The researchers' sampling method determined the list of participants that were subject to the measurements for the study. In terms of descriptive statistics, the researchers will use mean, which is the average or the most common value in a collection of numbers, standard deviation, which indicates the form of our distribution and the distance between individual data values, and the weighted mean value, the weighted mean, which involves multiplying each data point in a set by a value, which is determined by some characteristic of whatever contributed to the data point, and frequency distributions, which is used to express the frequency of survey responses and other results. In terms of inferential statistics, the researchers used Pearson's correlation coefficient, which is used to test statistics that measures the statistical relationship or association between 2 continuous variables, and regression analysis, which is used to estimate and assess relationships